They brought back the most legendary badge in Ferrari history, and they didn't make it retro. They didn't make it soft. They made it absolutely violent. This is the brand new Ferrari 849 Testarossa, revealed in Milan in September 2025. The car that officially replaces the SF90 Stradale and SF90 Spider at the very top of Ferrari's regular production range, below only the limited F80 hypercar. And it's here to prove that hybrid doesn't mean boring. It means over 1,000 horsepower you can actually use every single lap. First, let's get the name right because Ferrari is very particular and the internet got it wrong at first. Everyone thought 849 meant 849 horsepower. It doesn't. In Ferrari's internal code, 8 stands for 8 cylinders. 49 stands for 449 cubic centimeters per cylinder. Multiply that, and you get 3,990 cubic centimeters, a 4-liter V8. And Testarossa, 2 words that make every kid who had a poster in the 80s get goosebumps, doesn't mean side strakes. In Italian, Testarossa means redhead. Back in the 1950s, Ferrari's race cars like the 250 Testarossa and 500 Testarossa had their cam covers painted red because they had the most powerful engines. The 1984 Testarossa had red heads too. This new car has bright red cam covers again, visible through that huge rear glass, because it has the most powerful V8 Ferrari has ever put in a series car. As Enrico Galliera, Ferrari's chief marketing and commercial officer, told Road and Track, "We are not taking inspiration from old designs, just a look at the past. The name came originally from the cover of the engine of the most powerful model in the range. So this is not a Lamborghini Countach LPI 800-4 style retro remake. It's a forward-looking, pure performance machine that earns its name through engineering. And what engineering it is. Let's go deep because this is not just an SF90 with a body kit. Ferrari says 70% of the components are new. At the core is the F154FC engine family, the twin-turbo hot V8 that has won International Engine of the Year awards, but it has been completely re-engineered. New block, new cylinder heads, new intake plenums, new exhaust manifolds, lightweight titanium connecting rod and fasteners, new valve gear, and most importantly, the largest turbochargers ever fitted to production Ferrari. Bigger turbos usually mean more lag, but Ferrari has reworked the boost control, the anti-lag logic, and the electric assist so response is actually cleaner than the SF90. The combustion engine alone makes 830 CV. That's 819 horsepower at 7,900 revolutions per minute and 842 newton meters. 621 pound-feet of torque at 6,250 revolutions per minute, screaming to 8,300 revolutions per minute. That's more than a full F40 used to make. Then you add the hybrid system. 3 electric motors, 2 independent motors on the front axle, each driving one wheel, forming what Ferrari calls RAC, rotation axis control electric, which gives you true torque vectoring. It can overdrive the outside wheel in a corner and drag the inside wheel, literally pulling the nose into the apex. These front motors work up to 210 kilometers per hour, about 130 miles per hour. Then you have a third motor, an MGUK style axial flux motor sandwich between the V8 and the new 8-speed dual-clutch F1 gearbox, which is now 20% faster shifting and has shorter ratios for the lower gears. This rear motor fills torque gaps during shifts and adds power all the way to top speed. Total system output is 1,050 CV, 1036 horsepower, 772 kilowatts, with 1,100 newton meters combined. All of that through an EAWD system that is rear-biased but incredibly intelligent. The battery is a 7.45 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion pack mounted low in the chassis behind the seats for a perfect 45% front, 55% rear weight distribution. It gives you up to 25 kilometers, about 15.5 miles of pure electric range in e-drive mode, front-wheel drive only, limited to 135 kilometers per hour, 80 miles per hour, so you can leave your house at 6 a.m. without waking the neighbors. You can also charge it via plug-in, and it supports regenerative braking with a much more natural pedal feel thanks to ABS Evo. Performance is on another planet. Ferrari claims 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in under 2.3 seconds. Independent testers are saying 2.2 seconds for the coupe, 0 to 200 kilometers per hour in 6.35 seconds, which is almost a full second faster than an SF90 straight ale, and top speed over 330 kilometers per hour, over 205 miles per hour for both coupe and Spider. The Spider is only a tenth or two slower because it weighs about 100 kilos more. Braking is even more impressive. 100 to 0 in 28.5 meters, 200 to 0 in 108 meters, which is hypercar territory, thanks to new CCMR carbon ceramic brakes derived from the 499P Le Mans winner, with 15% better cooling capacity and new aero ducts. And it laps Fiorano, Ferrari's private test track, in 1 minute 17.5 seconds, which makes it faster than a LaFerrari, faster than an 812 Competizione, faster than an SF90 XX straight ale. Only the F80 is faster. But the real magic is not in the straight line. It's in the aero and electronics. The old SF90 was fast, but some owners said it was a bit nervous at the limit, a bit too dependent on electronics. Ferrari listened. The 849 Testarosa's design, led by Flavio Manzoni at Ferrari Styling Center, is what they call rolling architecture. It's not about retro lines. It's about air. The front has a bridge-like horizontal element connecting the headlights, a nod to 1980 Ferraris, but fully functional, channeling air over the car. The sides are insane. The entire door is sculpted as a massive air intake that feeds the intercoolers, so they can make the side radiators smaller. The cab forward stance and double tail rear are directly inspired by the 1970s Ferrari 512S Sports prototype. The underfloor is completely flat with cascading vortex generators that accelerate air and create ground effect. At the rear, you have an active rear spoiler that is 20% lighter than before. It deploys in less than 1 second, switching from low drag mode on the straight to high downforce mode in braking and cornering. At 250 kilometers per hour, 155 miles per hour, it generates 415 kilos of downforce, 915 pounds, which is a massive number for a road car without a huge fixed wing. And then there's the brain, Ferrari's new 5 system, Ferrari Integrated Vehicle Estimator. This is something straight out of Formula One. It's a real-time digital twin running on a super-fast processor with a 6D sense of measuring yaw, roll, pitch, acceleration in all directions. It constantly estimates the car's speed, slip angle, grip level, and feeds that to the EAWD, EDIF, traction control, torque vectoring, and ABS Evo. Ferrari says it allows you to brake later, harder, more repeatedly, with almost no ABS pulsing, and it makes the car predictable even when you're on the limit with all the systems in race or CT off. The chassis itself is revised springs, new Multimatic dampers on Assetto Fiorano, new bushings, stiffer mounts, larger anti-roll bars. Inside, Ferrari fixed the biggest complaint about the SF90. The old car had full haptic touch panels on the steering wheel that you would accidentally press when turning. Owners hated it. Gone. The new 849 Testarossa gets a brand new steering wheel with real, physical, clicky mechanical buttons for indicators, wipers, manettino, high beams. It feels like a proper Ferrari again. The dashboard is all new, horizontal, floating, with C-shaped air vents, a central sail that separates driver and passenger like a fighter jet cockpit. In that sail is a tiny gated shifter inspired by the new F80 hypercar. It looks like a miniature classic gated manual, but controls the 8-speed dual clutch. You have 2 digital screens, the main 16-inch curved driver display, and a passenger display that shows speed, revs, G-force, to terrify your co-pilot. You can spec comfort seats with heating and ventilation or full carbon fiber racing seats with 4-point harnesses, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto wireless charging, My Ferrari Connect telemetry are all standard. Materials are insane, full Alcantara, leather, carbon, with a new interior Alcantara color called Giallo Sienna, designed to match the new exterior launch color Giallo Ambra, a deep amber yellow inspired by natural amber. The other launch color is Rosso Fiammani, which is basically matte Rosso Corsa with metallic flakes that glow in the sun. Now let's talk Assetto Fiorano, because of the standard 849 Testarossa is the GT that can do track. The Assetto Fiorano is the track car that can do GT. It costs a lot more, but it is worth it for collectors. It drops 30 kilos, 66 pounds, through extensive use of carbon fiber for the doors, underbody, and titanium for exhaust bolts, springs. It gets 20-inch carbon fiber wheels. The first time Ferrari offers them on this platform, with Michelin Cup 2 R tires. It gets Multimatic single-rate dampers derived from GT racing, stiffer, more focused. Aero is completely reworked, bigger front flicks, extra pairs of underfloor vortex generators, and at the rear, the elegant twin-tail design is replaced by a pair of fixed twin wings that triple rear downforce without a huge drag penalty. For the first time, you can also pair a Seto Fiorano with the front lifter system by keeping Magnaride semi-active dampers, so you don't scrape everywhere. And you get a dedicated livery, a gradient stripe in Bianco Cervino or Rosso Corsa fading along the side, plus exclusive interior stitching and carbon. Who is this car for, and what does it compete with? It sits directly against the Lamborghini Revuelto with 1,015 horsepower, the McLaren 750S, an upcoming 1,000 horsepower hybrid replacement, the Porsche 911 Turbo S hybrid, the Corvette ZR1X. But none of those have the combination of a sub 2.3 second 0 to 100, a plug-in electric range for city, and a Fiorano lap time that beats a LaFerrari. It is both more usable and more extreme than the SF90 it replaces. Production details. Ferrari will build both Coupe and Spider. The Coupe is 4,718 millimeters long, 2,304 millimeters wide with mirrors, 1,225 millimeters tall, wheelbase 2,650 millimeters. Dry weight 1,570 kilos for Coupe, about 1,670 for Spider. In Italy, pricing starts at 460,000 euros for Coupe and 500,000 euros for Spider before options, which means with a Seto Fiorano and carbon extras, you'll be at 600K plus. U.S. pricing will be higher due to tariffs. Expect around $625,000 to $700,000 base, with first European deliveries Q2 2026 for Coupe and Q3 2026 for Spider. U.S. deliveries about 3 months later. So most U.S. cars will be registered as 2027 model year, which is why you see it called 2027 Testarossa on YouTube. Why does this car matter emotionally? Because the original 1984 Testarossa defined an era. It was in Miami Vice. It was on every bedroom wall next to a countertop. It had those massive side strakes that were actually there to feed the side radiators. It was excessive. It was 80s. It was pure Ferrari show-off. This new 849 Testarossa has the same spirit, but modernized. It doesn't have fake strakes. The whole door is a strake now. Functional. It doesn't have a flat 12. It has a twin-turbo V8 plus 3 electric motors that make more than double the power. It's excessive in 2025 terms. If you are a collector, this is probably the last non-V12 flagship V8 Ferrari that will have this level of emotion before everything goes fully electric. Ferrari has confirmed it will keep V8 and V12 hybrid for a while, but this platform is the peak of that technology. So how would I spec it? If I was keeping it forever, Rosso Firemanti with the red heads visible, silver wheels, beige interior with giallo sienna stitching, Coupe with a Seto Fiorano and that gradient stripe. If I want to be loud, giallo amber Spider with carbon wings. Your turn. Let me know in the comments below. Do you love that Ferrari brought back the Testarossa name, or should they have left it alone? Would you take the Coupe or the Spider? And would you go with Seto Fiorano or keep it more comfortable? And if you want to do a full deep dive comparison, 849 Testarossa versus SF90 Stradale versus Lamborghini Revuelto versus McLaren 750S, write Testarossa battle in the comments, and I will make that video next with all the numbers side by side. If you enjoyed this long, detailed script, hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss the next one, because I'm going to try to get inside one as soon as deliveries start. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.